Hello, everyone. I'm Karen Bontico. I'm the User Services Librarian at California Health Sciences University here in Clovis, California. Just a quick overview. This is a live demo, but this is some of what I'm going to be going over with everyone. Like what is my NCBI, getting a login, using the collections feature, saving searches, and then you can create alerts off of that. Some stuff about exporting citations and some of the features under the advanced search. So I'm going to show you here. So we're at, PubMed, pubmed.gov will always get you here. Up here in this corner here, you see a login. That's the My NCBI. If you click here, you'll see these different options to log in. Your best option is to go with either some sort of Google account that you have or a Microsoft account that you have. Those are the easiest two. If you have an Orchid is okay to use, but some of these others are more niche and you won't even be able to get one of those. So over here, so I'm already logged in on this browser. So when you're logged in, it shows you the email you're logged in with. And then you have, some different settings. Your dashboard is your main feature that you'll be using. And here's my dashboard. I have quite an active dashboard. Over here, I have saved searches that I have created. So I have a variety of different saved searches on topics or journals. Collections is one of the neatest things. You can use it as like a citation manager from PubMed into collections, have a bunch of different, topics of interest, different searches that I've done, AI machine learning stuff. So okay. So what you can do is when you are running your search, you find, okay. We're running your search, you're finding articles that are interesting, you're clicking on them, you're adding them to your clipboard, or you can also send them to collections. You can either create a new collection, or you can choose one that you've already got. Say you've been working on this search, for a while, or you always come back to it. You can choose your collection to add to and add that to your collection. So then it says edit your collection. There's a number of features on these collections. So one of the cool things about your collections is that you can actually make them public or private. And when you make them public, I meant to edit settings. When you make it public, they actually give you a URL that you can then share with people so other people can see your collection. Now, they can't edit your collection, but they can at least see what you've got, and they can work off of what you're working on. Another thing that you can do is you can also say you're the author of this article. You're an author. You can actually select articles and send to my bibliography, and you can actually build your items that are in PubMed into a bibliography for your that you can manage and share to help you manage your bibliographic publications. your publications. Here. So you see, it says now my bibliography down here has 7 items. Unfortunately, none of them are actually mine, and it's listed as private, but you can manage it and add stuff, change stuff, and you can like make it, you can choose to make things public. And again, that makes them shareable with other people. Oh, I haven't made any of those. Sorry. Anyway, so there's lots of ways that you can make things shareable with that. Again, coming back to the dashboard, there's a lot of features here that you can use. There's also some filters. When you're logged in, then these filters will show up at the side. So like when you run your search, over here, these filters show up. So I could automatically choose these filters instead of using the filters that are over here in our more complete PubMed option. So you can adjust which filters those are. So if you use them frequently, like I use the English filter frequently, and the free full text filter, and like the last 5 years, but there's a variety of filters that you can add here. You could also choose like humans, English and humans. So there's a few different options for you to use for the filters. So then we come to saved searches. This is probably one of my favorite features. So you've run your search. This was a search I was helping some students with. You've run your search. Okay, so we've got, 264 results. That's cool. But we want to save this. And if anything else comes, we want to be notified. So what we would do is we create an alert. You can name it different things. So like you can change the name here, but then the search terms, you want to leave it however you want the search to go. So if you wanted to adjust some stuff there. And then this is one of the best things is, would you like email updates of the search results? So anytime your search terms show up in a new item that is added to PubMed, it will send you an alert based on when you've told it you want to be alerted. So you can have like monthly, weekly, daily. So with monthly, do you want it the first day of the month, the first weekday, the first Sunday? With weekly, do you want it, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? How do you want it? Do you want a summary, an abstract, the PubMed? And how many items? For this one, I tend to choose a large number because you don't want it limited. You can also just save a search so you have it in your records and not have the emails set up, but I always like to set up the emails because even if I don't need it, they're at least sent to me and I have a copy of that. Really cool stuff. My brain just, I apologize. Okay, oh, exporting citations, that's what. So you've added, so when you add items to, to like your clipboard or for different resources, there is an option to send to a citation manager. And that allows you to create a file. So you can see up here, it just created an NBIB, and you should be able to import that into EndNote. We use SciWheel, Zotero, any of those types of resources. You should be able to import those files. Another cool thing is on the individual article, you can also click on this and get a formatted citation in one of these formats that you can then also download or just copy and paste into where you need the citations. You can also add to collections here. You can see this little bookmark is filled in, meaning I've already added it to a collection. So that's a good way of checking which things you've already been managing. On the advanced, so the PubMed Advanced Search Builder is a really good thing for when you're trying to figure out which terms to use. So I was working on this one here where it was self blood pressure monitoring, but also home blood pressure monitoring. And they are two different terms. So what I did here was I put them together with an or, and then they were looking for surveys. So that way it went from about 19,000 with each of these to over 20,000 citations for both of them. And also, cool thing is when you've done a search, it shows you in PubMed how it is interpreting what you have inputted. So it's got all these different mesh terms for blood pressure, blood mesh term here, mesh here. But then all the different ways that the terms are broken down. Questionnaire, questionnaires, surveys and questionnaires, all this different information that can help you build your search, make edits, all that kind of stuff. And you can then also build a search. So like if you had, this will be an interesting one. You can add to the query and then make adjustments or add other ideas to this. So we want and tendon and so you can build a search with different resources here on PubMed. You can the bigger filters that PubMed offers. These are really cool. They're really advanced. You can go to additional filters and you can add all kinds. So if you want specific phases of trials, if you want comparative studies, the way the research is supported, stuff with supplementary, editorial, duplications. There's all kinds of additional filters. Most of it's publication based. The age based is pretty good too. And then, I can see where because PubMed has been including preprints, you may want to exclude preprints. And what that does is that adds those additional filters over here so you can select that and help filter your responses. So now I had it remove all of the preprints on this topic. Then of course, don't forget your clipboard, where you can save it and you can create a file with your different information. That's just a straight text file. You can email it to yourself. I like this feature because then I have the stuff in more than one place. Send yourself an email. And then, send to your collections, building your collections, creating new collections, just all kinds of features that you can use. Going back here. I feel like I have gone really fast, but I feel like I've also covered most of this. Are there any questions on what these sites and resources can do? Kyle? Are you there? Oh, okay.
I don't see any questions in the chat right now.
Okay.
If anybody does have any though, please put them in the chat.
Yeah, I feel like I went through that a little fast. So I'm worried I'm missing something. But those are some of the really cool features that PubMed has created over the years with my NCBI to to help us manage our resources and citations within PubMed. For those of us who may not have access to a product such as EndNote or SciWheel, there are still collection management things. One of the main things that I like to use, like these saved searches for, is actually for journals. So I set up searches for journals and then I have them delivered to me at the beginning of the month, or for certain conditions, something like Sjogren's syndrome treatment. There isn't a lot of information on that. So when something new comes out, it's helpful to get the alerts. If you or someone that you're helping with as a librarian um, has a special topic. I know I've had a doctor who is really interested in ketamine for treating migraines. So we set up, like ketamine and migraine. So we ran the search and then created an alert for him. So he would every month, get to see what new had been published on ketamine and migraines in the last month. Oh, this is new. Optional text and email. That is added. I'm glad to see that they've brought that back. So if you were to set it up for someone, because you can make adjustments, then you could put notes in there. I'm so glad they've brought that back. That's really cool. So yeah, so then you've saved a search and they've got these articles, and yeah, you can get your answers.
Karen, we had one question in the chat. What is the blast in Science CV?
I am I am not where I am not familiar with that. What I'm did I miss something? Was there something on the screen that I missed? I'm sorry. I feel like Science V. Oh, that is something I have not worked with that NLM provides. Looks like it's some data tools. Cool. I am not familiar with that, but that is definitely something to get familiar with. Oh, there are additional options on the dashboard. That's right. I had actually edited my dashboard. You were right. I just saw that. You can customize your page, and I have never used Science V or Blast, so I had removed them from my page because I had not had use for them and they were cluttering things up. But you're right. I didn't cover those, but those are are things that are available here. So you can, and actually, one other cool thing is you can kind of move things around. To me, the saved searches and the collections are always the most important thing. So I have them up here. But, if you're managing your bibliography is really important, or, being able to search while you're in here, because you can actually start a new search while you're in here on different things. And I think I'm spelling that wrong. So you can actually start another search in here without having to go back to PubMed directly. Thanks for the reminder, Marlo, about those other items in your dashboard. Yes. Oh, I thought I demonstrated that on the yeah, when to share with the collections. So you've got your collection that you're working on. You've created it. You can click on it. Oops, wrong one. Need to click on edit. That's right. And here it says this collection is private. If it said it was public, then you wouldn't need to change it, but you can make it public. Then when you make it public, it creates a URL that you can share with others. So you can copy it, you can pop it into your, to different URLs, you can email it to people, and then they will see the collection that you've created in the order you've created it, because sometimes there is a reason to have things in certain orders that you want. But then they can also edit it if they're like, oh, I don't need anything back to 92. Let's go ahead and just do the last decade. You can adjust the dates right here with this little, it's not really a scroll, but it's a little bar. And then you can make, so the person can look at, okay, I just wanted to see the last 10 years. And now they can then build what they want for their collection. So if they're like, okay, these are actually the ones I want, then I can make a new clipboard. I can make a new collection. I can send it to citation manager. Say somebody's say you're working with someone who doesn't have citation management software and they can't get access to yours. If they send you something like this, you could then select everything and export it to a citation manager file, and then upload that to your citation management and use those same files then that they were using, if that's easier for you to be able to manage. So yeah, there's the ability to share your collections is one of the best features. That's not like related to how you create your searches, but like how you keep up with things, different topics, different things. And you can keep adding to these all the time. Like they've got a default favorites, you can add to those. Like I said, you can set up your new searches and have things delivered. It's, and manage your searches. If you're like, hey, I no longer want to get this information anymore. Not going to delete my SARS search because we all know COVID is still here. But yeah, so you could delete them, you could edit them. There's a lot of different cool resources. So any additional questions? Don't see anything. I will pop back over here. We do have our next upcoming workshop is Monday, September 23rd. It will be a how to use RefWorks citation. Kyle, I believe, put the link. Yep, the link is in the chat. We also put in the chat a survey link with feedback. And one of the questions for feedback is, do you have any topics you would like us to try to get someone to present on? Please give us those that feedback. We really appreciate that. We are also looking for people if you're interested in doing a presentation on something that you think would be useful, helpful, valuable to the community.